everyone. I am Dr. Shilpa Mankar, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Microbiology, Vidyabharati College, Selu. Today we are going to discuss the topic Discovery of Microorganisms. So within this sentence, discovery is the one word and another word is the microorganisms. So microorganisms, so what is exactly the discovery of that particular microorganisms we have to study in this topic. Okay. So these are the contents of the topic. So microbiology. We know that in the 12th science we studied actually the various branches of the science that are zoology, botany. So within the zoology we have to study this type of animals. In the botany there will be the study of plants. Likewise, in the microbiology, we have to study the microorganisms. Microbiology is the branch of science which deals with the study of microorganisms. Microorganisms are too small. We can't see it by naked eyes. That's why we have to observe it under a particular object, under a particular thing, that are the microscope, which are invented very previously by the renowned scientist. So journey of microbiology have been studied from last very much years, since very much ago. So in that particular system, very old days, the death were occurred, and within that death we don't know, and they didn't know. At that time the scientists didn't know the exact responsibleness of that particular death. Is who are responsible to that death and to that death occurred, they didn't know. And certain diseases like typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, plague. So what are the exact reason beside that death or responsibleness towards the death? In 1331, in the Europe, the 1/3 population having death occurred due to the plague disease. But at that time, the various scientists didn't know about the exact cause of that particular plague disease. Okay? So, Anton von Leeuwenhoek is the first scientist who discovered the microbes firstly, and he is called the father of microbiology. So this is the picture of Anton von Leeuwenhoek, who is the father of microbiology, as per I told you. And the microscopic organism, that particular organism which were observed under the microscope, that invented by Anton von Leeuwenhoek, that is called the animalcule. Animalcule is a very small microscopic organism. Okay, and the design and the description during the observation he submitted to the Royal Society of London, which is the Society of Microbiologists. Next, these are some designs and certain description of that particular figure that are submitted to the Royal Society of London by the Leeuwenhoek. And Leeuwenhoek observed, because he got certain samples, and that certain samples are observed by the particular microscope of invented by the Leeuwenhoek, and certain things that they observed that called the little animalcules, that are nothing but the microscopic organisms. He made the accurate sketches and communicated to the Royal Society of the London. So Leeuwenhoek invented the microscope, that is this microscope. It's having the he kept the specimen here, and this is the adjustment again, and these are some lenses. And in this microscope invented by the Leeuwenhoek, he used certain double convex lenses between the two silver plates. Okay, so these are the two silver plates, and within this the convex glass lenses were kept here. So it having the magnification, the large magnification, that is 50 to 300 times more curious, and he invented more than 500 microscopes at that time within this year, that is the lifespan of Leeuwenhoek. So we know that in our lab, in our laboratory, we also used the certain kind of microscope, that is the compound microscope. Actually, Leeuwenhoek microscope is the another and the compound microscope is the another. Actually, this compound microscope definitely is based upon the Leeuwenhoek microscope, but this is somewhat different. We generally use this compound microscope, who invented by the Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke is another scientist also. So this is the discovery of microbes or microorganisms, we can say, which are required by the certain scientist. I hope you understand. Thank you so much. Now, after the discovery of microbes, the another topic, that is origin of life. So we have to discuss about the origin of life, that is part 1. So these are the contents of origin of life topic, that is introduction, and from where the microorganisms originate, again the abiogenesis and the biogenesis. Okay, so within this introduction, the origin of life, we know that we are coming from our mother is also coming from our grandma. Okay, so likewise we know that पहले अंडा या मुर्गी. Likewise we know everything having the origination. So what is the exact origination of the particular microorganisms? That are, means microorganisms originated from where? From the living things, from the non-living things, or else other than this. Rather, we don't know about this. But the certain scientists which are having the role in the contribution of the microbiology and all the discovery of the microbes are involved in this. So abiogenesis and biogenesis, we have to discuss it further. So abiogenesis. We know that in the abiogenesis word, means the antonym, bio means living, and genesis means the generation. Okay. So within this abiogenesis, that is also called the spontaneous generation. And spontaneous generation means what? Actually, there are two hypotheses as per I told you in the previous slide. That is abiogenesis and biogenesis. Regarding to this topic, these are the two hypotheses of the origin of life. So within this, Aristotle and the John Needham, these two scientists, were the supporters of the spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis. Abiogenesis means what? The life is originated from the non-living things. Okay. So within this, Aristotle, what did he say? The frogs originated from the mud. Means there are mud and there are certain frogs, some frogs will be there. So at that time, he proposed that frogs were invented from that mud. Means mud is the non-living thing. So he supported that abiogenesis, means that frog, the living thing, is generated from the mud, that is non-living thing. Because he is the supporter of spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis. Next, the flies originated from the decaying grains. So certain grains was there, and after the decaying of that grains, there are certain flies on that particular grains. So at that time, that flies are originated from that grains, and definitely grains are the non-living things, because he supports the spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis, means the live things are originated from the non-living things. So this Aristotle and John Needham, both are the supporters of this. So John Needham, he did the experiment, and what did he do? The boiled soup he had taken in the particular flask, and after that he placed the sealed flask here with the cork, Okay, means there is no any contact with the environment, just the void soup is it's settled here, and after that, after the inoculation, after the incubation, there will be the microbial growth in the soup. Means he supports the abiogenesis. Means he proposed that the microbial growth is due to the non-living things. Okay, so this is about the abiogenesis, who supports the spontaneous generation. Okay, next is the biogenesis. This is the second hypothesis. So some are the scientists who are the opponents of the spontaneous generation. Means they oppose the abiogenesis because they favor the biogenesis. Means the life is originated from the living things, not from the non-living things. Right? So these are certain scientists who are the opponents of the spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis. So this is the one scientist, the Francisco Redi. What did he do? He had taken the meat piece in the particular jar, which is sealed here. The second one, the meat in the jar, but it's unsealed. The next, the third, the jar is closed with the net, that is wire balls. Okay. First of all, this first is sealed with the paper. Just paper are wholly tied with this container. So meat piece is in the every container or every flask, can say. So after some time, he observed no eggs laid on the paper or meat on the flask because it is sealed. Okay, means any environmental factors are not entered, particularly air, not entered through this flask by this paper holding. So there is no any observation of eggs on that particular paper or the inside bit. In the second jar, it is open and he observed the certain flies laid on inside the jar because it is open and it definitely contacts with the air and the environment. That's why it happened in this case. The third one, which is covered or wholly tight with the net, that is wire balls, and the meat is definitely inside in the jar. So he observed the flies attracted by the meat because this net means somewhat the air transmission will be there. That's why the flies attracted by the meat and certain eggs are also laid on the particular wire balls, means outside the wire balls that are deposited on that particular wire balls. Okay, means Francisco Redi said the life is originated from the living things which are definitely concerning with the air in the environment. Next scientist, that is Lazaro Spallanzani, he is also support the biogenesis and opponents of the spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis. So this is another scientist, and what did he do? The white soap is taken in a particular jar. It opened because it is not sealed here, and after the incubation, the certain microorganisms and the growth of microbial system will be there. And in the another side, the boiled soup in the sealed flask, just it is open, the three jars are open, and here the three jars are closed, tightly closed. Okay, so that flask or that jar which are open and containing the boiled soup having the growth, and the sealed flask which are having the particular boiled soup, it will show the no growth or the no microbial growth will be there. Okay, means the flask was sealed, so air contact will be not there, and again He disproved the theory of spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis, means the life is not originated from the non-living things, but it originated from the living things, means life is originated from the living things, that is the biogenesis. Okay, so these are the two scientists who are the supporters of the biogenesis. Thank you so much.